Here's another feature that landed in Cockpit recently. It has to do with the Kubernetes cluster admin dashboard. Let's say we just installed this plugin. This button here appears in Cockpit. You can then try and access the cluster, but we don't know where the cluster is. It's running in a different VM, it's running in the cloud. The API server is not running on the same machine as Cockpit. And we can see the same thing happen from the terminal. If I run a command line command to interact with Kubernetes, you end up in the same place. It's trying to look at localhost, the API on localhost. Well, there is no such cluster. Let's tell Kubernetes, the clients, about the cluster. Where do these clients, both Cockpit and kubectl and other clients, store the information about how to connect to the cluster? It's in a file, at least by default, in your home directory under the .kube/config, and this file doesn't exist at this point. Let's create it. You can click troubleshoot here, and we can actually tell the clients where the cluster is. This requires authentication, and off we go. I typed this IP address wrong. Let's cancel and try again. There you go, and hey, it has a certificate that we don't know about yet. We can look it over, we can connect. So now we can see what's in the cluster. We can see, oh, this is a very simple one, only has one pod, one node, but nevertheless, we've accessed the cluster somewhere. And Cockpit doesn't just do this for itself. This file now exists, and we can, of course, look at its contents. It's a YAML file, describes the cluster, how to authenticate to it, where to find it, and all of a sudden, the command line tools work as well. Here we have the pods that are running, the same pods that you saw here. And lastly, if I click up here, I can change the connection settings and basically edit that kubeconfig file. Add different clusters to it, add different users to it, and so on. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Bye for now.